Good morning. Good morning. Basically, I'm more interested in talking about mind because this mind is a complex organ, That mind is an organ, maybe, or mind is a complex thing, that really fascinates us. Mind is something that constitutes our life, the way we live, what we do in life, what we intend to do in life, sometimes spiritualism, sometimes to do some scientific activities, whatever we want to do. It's through our mind that we do. And this mind is a very real thing, It's if you just don't do a complete study and if you don't understand it well, then this will be the cause of suffering. Today a lot of people have different type of sickness, that we never used to hear when we were very young, because that time it was not well defined that what sickness is what. That two sickness were there, but today that there is a mental thing, so all these things, frustrations. Usually it comes because we are not able to manage this life and manage this mind, because we think that my mind is actually different, but actually mind is not different. Your mind or anybody's else mind, the mind thinks in same way. That's why we have same type of problem. We everybody has a problem actually, if you just go at the level of problem, and if you see, if it is not the acceptance, then everybody has a problem, one or other problem, right? Just because the majority of the people, in this world accept that yes, this problem I can manage it so easily, whereas this problem I can't manage, and that box, and that continuously, when they think about that particular problem being in their inability to manage, that really box into a major issue like frustration. First, initially, you get frustrated, you get anger, because it's all because of fear, greed. Actually, it's driving actually all these things, but we can't control that also. That's nature. By nature we have fear, by nature we have greed, and this whole world, the development that is happening in this world is happening because of that only. There's a fear, there's a greed, there's a greed to have many things, many convenience, many things, and that's why the world is developing, progressing. People are making amenities, facilities, and there is a greed, and people are creating many things, we even are, we are exploring spiritualism because we have a greed of being spiritual, that is also a type of greed actually. It's not beyond the scope of greed and fear, it's there. So mind is very real thing, to understand this. If we don't try to understand it over the period of time, and just don't try to enhance our knowledge about it, then this will bog down, we'll suffer. So in order not to suffer, you really have to understand how the mind works, how this mind works. Not my mind, your mind, everybody's mind. This works with very simple thing, when you don't have pain, it looks for pain, when you have a pleasure, you're enjoying, and it will think that, wow, I'm enjoying. I think the next moment will be a painful. Then you'll naturally go to the pain, So the anticipation begins, Actually, when we are suffering, the healing begins the moment we start suffering. Means we start looking for pleasure, right? The healing begins there only. So it's like that. This is the rhythm. It will continue. It's not going to change because it's there forever. The rhythm of feeling sad, then again feeling happy. Uh, you don't. You some people go continuously on one track because they think that their mind is different from others. They think because they are very different from others. When they think that they are different from others, then they pretend to go in one direction, one direction. They get elaborated, and that is the cause. Whereas for a normal people, it's natural. The curve is like this, it's moving. One you become happy, then you get frustrated, depressed, or something like that, then again happy, then the cycle continues, lifelong. It's a lifelong process. You become happy, sad, sometimes emotional love will come, sometimes fear will come, some anxiety will come. These are natural, natural curves in the graph that will come. But for some when they go in one direction, it's because they think that their mind is completely different from other people. They think that their situation is completely different from other people, But if you just see the reality, everybody is suffering one or other thing. The richest man is suffering his richness, or he is suffering other thing beyond the scope of money. A poorest person is suffering money. Someone is suffering, some religious person is unable to understand what is enlightenment or what is heaven or what is hell, and he's suffering that. A person means everybody is suffering actually. It's one other thing, means you are not satisfied with what you really have. That is the nature of mind that is created, because without that mind this world would not go like this. Then we would be just idly simply sitting like this, in a meditative state, and no one would be doing anything, right? We're doing something because we're not satisfied, and that is the very essence of this planet. It's the very essence of this globe. Everything is not satisfied, everything is not at ease. That's why it's completely continuously moving, and something is happening, and that will go on maybe forever, right? We don't know. Till now it's going, so tomorrow also it will go, right? So for when, at which time it will go, no one knows. It will go, but there is no ease. So this is how it is. The mind is also like that. It's always bogged with something. When you have tensions, fine, you have tensions. But sometimes you see, when you don't have tensions, also you still worry, saying that I don't have any tensions, right? That's nature. So this is the process, I think, and that's what I'm trying to understand for myself. And I really want to inculcate a challenge where whatever I do, I should forget about the result of whatever thing I'm doing. And the result should not be a motive. That's what I intend to take my mind in that direction. But it never happens, because result is always end goal. But we cannot work without result. But in nature, it's very true. If you just work without the intent of result, then probably life will be very easier. Because if we are just result oriented, in any field, when you're doing your job, when you're marrying, when you're having children, whatever endeavors you do in life, if you just look at the result, when you see the result, actually that result really haunts you. If you can forget that and delink yourself from the result and just go into the process, life is really wonderful. But I'm trying, you also try. Everybody, I request you try without the intent of result. Do something. Keep doing something. Because here you're not here to simply stay idly in this world. Just nothing will drop. Without suffering, right? You have to suffer. You have to do something, and do simply. Simply do without the intent of having some benefit out of it. If you just can do that, I think sometimes I slip into that mode. Just for a few minutes or few hours. I slip into the mode for, means that time I don't have an intent of goal or this in life. And I have to be this. No comparison, no goal. When such thing happens, you really become joyful. You really see the world with a different perspective, different view. Completely different. But when you're in that process, you suddenly get striked, and again you end up into comparison. You try to see the goals, you try to make yourself better. When you try to make yourself better, there is a problem. When you think that your mind is different, you have a problem. When you think that you have to make a hell lot of money and you have a goal, there is a problem. So when all these things are there is a problem. But if you just enjoy the process, I have to work. If you believe that I have to work, it's my work, that's more important, but not the goal or the result or whatever. If you just give up this one, life will be very easier, simpler. So just understand this. Don't be frustrated. Life is very simple. We are just complicating with all these things, and it's including myself. That's why I'm advising myself that this is very easy life, and we can really handle it in a very simple manner, in a very easy manner. So have a good weekend. Tashdili.